What's going on? April 2nd, 2018. My opening thoughts on today's trading is that what I liked about today was I had a trade that I really enjoyed taking upon, even though it didn't work out, and which I'm about to show you. And then also that I stopped trading once I was close to my $1,000 loss limit. Not getting $1,000, not pushing myself to $1,000, or not preventing myself from risking anymore, I thought was an accomplishment of its own. Just because I've already crossed that $1,000 limit multiple times, and it could happen again. But I'm really working on not going over that $1,000 loss limit. I think that's a good start for me before even turning profitable. Um, uh, Last week was pretty decent. I was making some profits. Definitely gave back a lot more than I should have last week, and today I gave back even some more. But I'll go ahead and start with the euro. Came in short the euro, or with the intention of shorting the euro on the daily. We see this nice little formation here. We're in this area, got this long time frame resistance coming in through here. That's causing price to be rejected to the downside. You got dollar supporting this thesis, and so that's what I was looking to do going into today. So overnight session, you had a pop up, gap up, run, and pretty much starting going into the session, you had a sharp decline in price followed by a sharp rise in price, and I was able to I shorted this particular area. Um, I didn't exactly want to be the first in. I would have rather seen a better formation, but just because we were at this level, and I'd seen it get rejected here a couple times, and also on it had been a resistance, or it had been support, and then it became resistance. So this particular level here at this 1.240 area was just something that I was keeping my eye on going into this open, and decided to take a short here, and then it worked really well. Saw a fast spike up. It didn't scare me. We did have a trend line coming in here that was previously support and became resistance. Let's take a quick look at that. So I had this area coming through here. Pretty much tapped this area here, and then I actually shorted again another contract on this little jump up with a stop here at 1.2401, or no, 1.240. Point was, I got stopped out of this trade for both my contracts. What I wish I could have done, which I was planning to do, was at least put one contract tight here, and then putting the other one a little bit higher. I think that would have been pretty a good way to work out. Just because for me preserving capital is quite important right now. That's probably why I would have wanted to do that. But also, I think since it was the beginning of the day, and overall I was really confident in this trade. I just from the way it was looking, I think I could have definitely spared a couple points above here into this higher level area, to put my stop instead of not. I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't really capture any gains. I almost broke even, so I wasn't even risking anything at all. To properly look at this trade, yeah, I ended up losing 25 bucks, 33 bucks including commissions. Yeah, but overall I think it was a really good trade. I really enjoyed it because it eventually did work, and then I think I ended up joining back into this, trying to I shorted over here in this particular area and wrote it down, but eventually was looking for a similar situation where I could add back on. that never showed up, and instead I ended up stopping myself out to prevent any loss. But definitely took away the profits that I had down here. This is the sucky thing about trading one contract is that you're not able to really scale out of one contract. You have to kind of you get to you snooze you lose kind of thing. Um, so so that's probably one of the reasons why I've been working into two contracts, but I think I should still focus more on, especially on volatile instruments, to really focus on contract, single contracts on highly volatile instruments, just to really just to build up still and focus on making sure I'm properly putting on risk and properly putting on a trade to make sure I don't wipe myself out too fast, trying to jump on too many contracts. But when it comes to the euro, I feel a lot more comfortable putting on two contracts, and the numbers kind of prove themselves. They don't crush me, as it's happened with the S&P futures and oil. Those usually tend to crush me when I get too over contracted, over leveraged. Let's see what else. So I'm mostly focused on euro, S&P futures, oil. I was waiting for an opportunity to go long oil. That never came. Was looking for hoping for one. Mayor at the beginning of the day pointed out this 64.50 area point of inflection. Luckily I am short this on my portfolio account, and I was able to take advantage of this move to the downside, and I even ended up I took out like a third of my position, and I have a third left here, so that's pretty cool for my portfolio. But anyways, so that made me feel comfortable with not pushing anything into this, because I was still looking for a balanced area to play off of, which we never really got up until the end of the session with low volatility, um, and then hard to determine price ranges, and or just really small price ranges that didn't provide any good any um, clear opportunity. But we do definitely had opportunities on the way down. Now that I'm looking at this in hindsight, pullbacks along here, but probably this one would have been the best play here in my mind. Because I'm always very skeptical of continual down moves or up moves, because I always expect them to eventually fail and pull back on, sharp. I'm always waiting for a sharp pullback to come along, and that usually tends to scare me out of jumping into a trade, onto a train that's already moving. So that's probably what happened here. Same with ES, probably where I messed up the most. Scratched a lot. Started off with not believing this down move from 26.36, failing at 26.38. I wanted to short at 26.40. I did not get that. Wanted to buy here at 26.30. Did not get that. Was thinking of shorting below 26.30, but happened so fast I wasn't able to really take advantage of any opportunity. And then I tried buying here at 26.25, did not work. Tried buying here at 26.20, also failed. Definitely a messy situation, especially with the amount of volatility that was going on. Tried buying into this area with the stop underneath, but it was just such a big price difference between my entries and my stop losses, and just ended up not able to handle it. And that long buy stuck with me for the rest of the day, and I definitely paid for it. Not I think I should practice. One thing I noticed is I'll break into my bias by taking the even if there is, I think the even if there is no trade, just taking the opposite side of my bias just to kind of break it. I think is something that I might want to practice. That might work. But we'll see what happens with that. Because I feel like once I'm breaking my biases, like, there's a more higher chance of me looking for opportunities to the opposite side of what I'm looking for. Um, and then, there was not I didn't really have much of an understanding down here um, below these price levels below 2630. My memory flooded in from the previous trading days of we had I remember the 2607 area. Actually, I'm barely actually remembering that right now. No, but more like the 2616, 2615, 2620. So I was looking for opportunity in this area, but I was looking into the wrong side and ended up paying the price here. I was so stubborn all the way down to, and then eventually by the time I was ready to go long and looking for a long opportunity, I was already done. I didn't have enough to risk. Um, so that was that with ES. But I think my shining moment was definitely with the euro, showing the euro, and that's probably what I'm gonna be working on again tomorrow. Gonna be looking for. Now I'm still a little bit long, but have that long bias on ES, maybe an inside day. I'll be looking for opportunity for sure. Going into tomorrow. Um, from what I understand, there's a lot of gaps, or there's a lot of incomplete auctions left along this down move here on the market profile from what I was looking with Chigirl on Twitter, and we'll see what tomorrow gives us. Will be definitely. I mean, this looks a little bit more. This looks a lot more bullish than what we ended like on Thursday. Quite the opposite, really. I mean, we get a rise up, down move into the close. Here we get a down move with the rise up into the close. I mean, quite nice, quite nice. If only we can if we get up above 25.90 going into tomorrow, I think provides some good opportunity, since that's around the area where the 200 MA is. 25.86 I know is also a key point where people mentioned. I believe Jim Dalton. And then 2600 giving us that round number figure. And then back into an area where we're familiar with from past price areas. I've heard 2610 has been thrown around, so I'll be looking forward to trading ES tomorrow. Now that we've allowed myself to survive another day. Again, I think just over the overview. Watch out for that bias. Not don't one way or the other. I know it's happened to me already a couple times where I'll be looking forward to something happening, and it doesn't happen, and I think really just what happened here was it really just caught me off guard. This first initial move to the downside just caught me way off guard, and I failed to look for opportunity to the downside at these key levels that I were clear in my head, and actually were also clear on the charts. Here you have us tapping 26.25 and failing to get above it and stay above it, providing an opportunity to short. Again, here at 26.20, same thing. So so the big picture again. Looking at that 200 MA. Today might have been some stops. Looking at maybe recovering. Clearing, going back up and clearing some of those incomplete auction levels, incomplete auctions. Yeah, and I think that's how I feel pretty comfortable today. I did trade a little bit at silver. I'm gonna quickly see. I have less than a minute left here. Did trade silver. Very crappy 1 minute chart. Very little liquidity volatility. So tried running this up from a breakout, pull back, breakout. Didn't get much momentum. Started to fail. Pulled out, shorted. Didn't work out here. Noticed liquidity drying up, and just decided to give up on this whole movement altogether. And that's pretty much what we did for the day on silver. And overall, we'll see what happens tomorrow.